So let's be honest, at some point in time हम सबने सोचा है यार बाल स्मूथनिंग करा लूँ क्या? Be it men, women, teenagers, preschool kids also these days, and a lot of times postpartum women after just giving birth when the hair feels really unmanageable. Why is this that these treatments have become so common? Because somewhere along the way, frizz became a problem to fix. Curly hair was regarded as unmanageable, volume started to look messy, and somehow we just associate health and well-being with polished, well-falling hair. And sleek hair quietly became associated with being more expensive, polished, and put together. And it would not be wrong to compare this with fairness creams. Once upon a time, the fairness industry convinced us that fairer, lighter skin is healthier. And similarly now, the beauty industry has pushed us in a way where we think straighter, sleeker hair is more healthy. But the question is, how smooth is smooth enough and at what cost? I'm Dr. Jyoti Aneja, your aesthetic dermatologist with over 16 years of experience in dermatology and aesthetics. My heartfelt goal is to support and guide you on your journey to healthier, more radiant skin and hair. Because I truly believe everyone deserves to feel confident and comfortable in their own skin. So today let's decode one of the most commonly asked questions that you people keep asking me all the time, things that you do in salons, which is your smoothening, your keratin, your cysteine, your nanoplastia, hair botox, permanent straightening and the likes of the world. Not like a salon brochure, but from hair biology perspective. Now here's the science simplified. Inside your hair, we have the disulfide bonds. Think of these as the internal bridges that keep the hair fiber together. Now, the density of these bonds decides whether the hair is going to be straight, curly, how elastic is the hair going to be, and how much damage can it withstand. All these treatments, what they're trying to do, they're actually trying to break your disulfide bonds and then eventually heat and seal the products that are being applied onto you and give you the soft and sleek appearance. Now, having said that, you can understand what is the damage that this is causing to your hair in the long run and eventually changing the way your hair behaves. Now, think of your hair as a thin metal wire. अगर हम इसको बार बार बेंड करेंगे, बार बार केमिकली ट्रीट करेंगे, बार बार इसे हम घुमाते रहेंगे, there's going to come a point where this wire is actually going to snap. Now that's exactly the damage that's happening to your hair whenever that we're doing any heat-based treatments. And your hair behaves similarly when exposed to repeated stress, heat and chemical damage. So now this is where it gets very confusing. Sometimes damaged hair can actually look healthier. Now our hair has an outer coating called the cuticle. Now this coating is what is usually flattened out in all of these procedures, and flatter cuticle means flatter surface which reflects better, makes your hair shinier. So definitely after the treatment people say, oh my god, my hair looks so healthy. But shiny hair and healthy hair are not the same thing. Your hair could be shinier, looking apparently healthier, but internally, biologically, it becomes weaker. Now, before we talk about different treatments, we first need to understand hair itself. Now, your hair is not a dead plastic fiber. It has structure, architecture, and strength patterns. And this is how I explain it to my patients. Now, your hair fiber is like a little fabric. From outside, you can temporarily polish it, coat it, flatten it, and make it shinier. But if the internal fiber repeatedly weakens, eventually the structure starts failing. And no serum in the world can fully reverse that. So now let's simplify the greatest salon confusion, starting with permanent straightening or rebonding. Now this is the one with the strongest effect, जिसमें हमारे hair एकदम poker straight दिखाई देते हैं and our integral part of the hair, which is the hair cortex, in the long run eventually ends up being damaged. बात करें smoothing की, so that's a treatment more so for frizz, just to make the hair look more manageable. And then when we talk about keratin, that's more like a shine treatment. और बात करें cysteine की, तो cysteine again is something like a deep conditioning for your hair. Now, जब हम बात करें hair botox की, तो this might sound very funny, but there is no botox which is actually involved. We call it botox because हम botox treatment में क्या करते हैं? We iron out the wrinkles. So when your hair is botoxed, also it looks sleeker, nicer, more put together. Again, like a deep conditioning treatment, more so for damaged hair. Now, things that people don't talk about. What is my problem with these treatments? It's a compound called formaldehyde. Now, formaldehyde is something which can be an irritant not just to your scalp, to your eyes, eyes, to your throat, to your lungs also. And in the long run, it can also damage the salon professionals who are offering this treatment on a regular basis. Now, बहुत सारे salons बोलते हैं कि these treatments are formaldehyde free. But when you say a treatment is formaldehyde free, is it just the product that you're using particularly that does not contain formaldehyde? Because क्या होता है, जो product हम apply करते हैं, when it comes in contact with heat, that gets converted into formaldehyde. So that's where the problem actually lies. And that's the difference between marketing language, branding, and medicine. And yes, we do agree that some treatments may be softer on your hair, less harsh, but by no means less damage means damage free. If you keep doing these treatments on regular basis, they are also going to damage your hair in the long run, and eventually it's going to be a problem. Now, what's the reality? Is it actually one treatment that's going to damage my hair? Well, the answer is no. अगर हम एक बार कोई भी treatment कराते हैं, it is not really going to take away from the virgin hair. It may just make your hair a little more manageable. But having said that, we don't just stop at that one treatment. We color our hair, we bleach our hair, we use flat irons, we use heat styling, we use a lot of products at home. Shampoos, conditioners, dry shampoos, colored shampoo, this, that, and the likes of the world. And now we're also resorting to hair extensions every now and then. Having said that, it is the cumulative damage that we are worried about more than any one single treatment done. और फर्क क्या है? Unlike skin, our hair fibers do not regenerate themselves. तो जो part damage हो गया है, we are going to have to wait for it to grow out till the healthy hair grows back. At this point, I feel it's important to understand the word porosity. जब हम porosity की बात करते हैं, जो damaged chemically treated hair होता है, think of it like a sponge with multiple holes. So it absorbs moisture quickly and dries also just as quickly. Now let's talk about a phase which is very, very important. That's pregnancy and postpartum. It's also the time when women become emotionally very vulnerable about their hair, because there are only two ways your hair behaves during pregnancy. Either your hair becomes really very pretty, very full, very nice, or your hair starts to look very frizzy, very limp, and you experience a lot of hair fall. फिर हम जाते हैं salon, we try to look for a quick fix कि भैया keratin कर दो, smoothing कर दो, try and do something that my hair looks more manageable. As much as I understand your frustration when you ask me this as a dermatologist, do I recommend these procedures during your pregnancy? Not because we have massive evidence proving harm, but most of these treatments, they involve a lot of inhalation exposure, they have a lot of chemical fumes, there is a lot of heating involved, and at the end of the day, these are aldehyde compounds that are involved in it, which can eventually prove dangerous for your pregnancy. And honestly, postpartum hair needs recovery more than camouflage. Immediately after you've delivered the baby, it's not usually the chemical treatment that your hair is seeking. It needs nutrition, it needs proteins, vitamins, ferritin, overall gentler lifestyle, and we need to focus on sleep and scalp health than chemical treatments. Moving on to another question, how often should we do this? So while speaking of these treatments, I do not approve of aggressively overlapping treatments every 3 to 4 months. I'd say you stick to the treatment gap of once in 6 to 8 months at best. Ideal would be once in a year, because repeated overlap processing is where major breakage and damage starts to happen. Speaking of red flags, how do we know that our hair is overprocessed? Now, if at all, despite conditioning and doing all the treatments right, your hair still feels rough. While the hair is wet, it feels very gummy, it feels that it tangles very easily, it feels very stretchy, you see a lot of baby hair, a lot of frizz on the top of your head. That's a sign that your hair is already overprocessed and you need to tone down the chemical damage. Moving on to the most important part, what are the questions that you're going to ask your salon before your treatments? Is this treatment totally formaldehyde free? How much heat is going to be used in the sealing procedure, and are the already treated hair going to be overlapped in this treatment? If at all you get satisfactory answer and your hair is already examined by an expert, by all means you can go ahead with your treatment, but again, restraint is the key. The problem is we forget to ask the questions before the treatment, and once the treatments are done with, we come complaining. You have to make sure that you follow through with the treatment protocol that's provided by your provider, and thereafter make sure that you pick up the right conditioner for the particular treatment that you have undergone and follow it through. So if you ask me, are these treatments bad? The answer is no, but you have to do them intelligently, occasionally, and with very realistic expectations. Because glossy Instagram hair and genuinely healthy hair is not the same thing. So if you're somebody who's tried keratin, cysteine, smoothing, nanoplasty, something in your life, we would like to know your experience. Share your experience with us and tell us, did that make your hair genuinely healthy or just shiny and smooth for some time? And if this video helped you understand your hair a little better, give us a like, share and subscribe, and we'll keep coming back with more such content.